Hey guys, what's going on? Sincere here with whoissincere.com. I want to bring you a story here about Brian Incinia, Texas trooper indicted for perjury in Sandra Bland case. This is the trooper who actually pulled Sandra Bland out of her car back in July of 2015. Now, the story goes, Sandra was traveling, I believe coming from a job interview or something like that, but she was minding her own business. She didn't really do anything wrong to get pulled over in the first place. She just got pulled over for driving while black, just to be, quite honest with you. When she was pulled over, the police, she knew that she was being hassled, if you will. And so she was a little bit upset about that, as any normal American would be, and she was smoking a cigarette in her car, and this guy didn't like it, and so he was just abusing his authority by asking her to step out of the vehicle. He had no reason to bring her out of the vehicle. She didn't have anything illegal in her vehicle, and she wasn't doing anything that legally required her to step out of the vehicle. So it was pretty much just illegal to extract her from her vehicle anyway. If he would have never extracted her from her vehicle that day, she would never been found hanging in a jail cell just a couple days later. So there's a direct correlation between his actions and the outcome of this entire case. Now, we can, get into speculation about how she was found hanging in her jail cell. The first thing I'll tell you is this. To me, it was foul play. Sandra Bland was a very tall woman. She didn't, I come from a family of tall people. I'm 6'5". My mother's 5'10". My father's 5'9.5". But, well, my stepfather is. My real father's like 6'2" or 3 or something. But, so I've been around tall people my whole life. And I can tell you something. With Sandra Bland's height, and I believe she was probably closer to the height of my mother, with her height, it's impossible to hang yourself from a bunk bed that's shorter than you. Okay? One of the key components of hanging yourself is not having the ability to stop hanging. That's the key component. So when you do it, you can't really reverse it unless, the beam or whatever you're using breaks. Because the body pulling the weight down is what provides the choking for the neck, if not, a stretching of the spinal column and a snapping of the neck. So, I mean, it doesn't sound fun, and I'm not, explaining it in good terms, but that's just simply what it is. If you're going to hang yourself, the body weight needs to pull down to complete the mission. To stand next to something, tie something around your throat, and sit down on a bed and, hang yourself, that's not likely. It's so highly unlikely, it's laughable to think that this is the official narrative of their story. Okay, so, let's read a couple of the statements here on Twitter about it. Indictment issued for the reason he gave for pulling Bland outside of her vehicle. Special prosecutor, Sandra Bland. Trooper who pulled over Sandra Bland could get up to a year in jail if convicted of perjury indictment. I'm pleased that Sandra Bland and her family received some justice today. So the grand jury recommends the cop in Sandra Bland's case to be charged, but nothing else. So we have some varying, opinions here about the outcome of this. But my number one thing here is, just as any regular civilian that's out there, if you had a hand in something that resulted into someone's murder or death, we'll just say death, and resulted into someone's death, then you had a hand in their death. If any of us gives a ride, let's just say you give a ride to a friend and they go to the scene and they shoot some people to wherever they're going, and they come get back in the car with you. Even though you didn't know they were going to do that, it doesn't matter. Same thing with a bank robbery. It doesn't matter. You were a part of it. You helped to facilitate it, And I would like to see this man charged in the same way. He helped to facilitate the actions that unfolded in Sandra Bland's death. So I'm sure that, he will not be indicted as such. I'm sure that this is all just a part of the show. They have to do something, because these people have not given up. There's still plenty of support that is out there in Waller, I believe it's Waller County, Texas. Plenty of support. I'm following several people on Instagram and Facebook, so I know that they're out there still protesting. This is a daily thing that they're doing out there because they're not giving up. And I know with them not giving up, somebody has to get thrown into the fire. So they're throwing Brian into the fire. I'm sure he won't get the full wrath of the fire, though, because, he's one of them. And on top of it, the person who really murdered Sandra Bland, this gives him an out too, because, hey, this guy is under fire right now and everybody's focusing on him. So the person that was seen coming out of the hallway in the actual video with gloves on, that would be the person that everybody wants to speak to, but that's not coming out. No one knows who that man is. So, and it's not being discussed. The police department, of course, isn't going to say who that is. So that's what we're up against. We're up against a lot of forces that, they have a great amount of manipulation and control on the situation. When you look at Sandra Bland's photo from this incident, a lot of people speculate that she's already dead in the photo. And for me, looking at the photo, I would say that, I'm not going to say that she was dead, but I'm going to say there is a very, very high possibility that she was. High possibility. And whenever you look at somebody's photo, it's easy to see the soul. Okay? It's easy to see the soul in the life in somebody's eyes. Let's take this guy, for example. Brian. We look at him, and if you look in his eyes, you can clearly see that this man is alive. You can see his soul. You can see his personality. You can see who he is. These are things that we can see. We can't ignore these things as humans. When you look at Sandra Bland's picture that the police department actually put out, her mugshot photo, soulless. Blank stare in her eyes. She looks gone. She doesn't even look to be in this world, if you will. Face a little bit drooped back and puffy. Hair a little bit drooped back. Not really drooped back, like it was flying backwards. So that's all, telltale signs of somebody that may have been laying on the floor and had a photo taken of them while they were already dead. Okay? That's what we're watching, guys. That's what we're up against. We're up against evil forces that are able to manipulate media, give it to people. If you look at the full video of the stop, they even manipulated that video before they put it out. The same car drives by in the same direction twice, just moments apart. I don't know what kind of people they have that doctor these videos, but they doctor them fast and they doctor them half good. Enough, good enough to fool 90% of Americans. Those who are really following this and dissecting every piece of this, they pointed it out right away. Wait a second. I thought this was an unedited film. Why is this film being put out and the same car is driving by just seconds apart, twice? They doctor information, guys, and I don't know, this is just more doctoring of information to me. This is a way for them to not focus on who really murdered Sandra Bland. Okay? So I don't look at this as really any kind of justice, as the one person would have said. I'm pleased that Sandra Bland and her family received some justice today. I don't buy that personally. It's not justice. It's not justice. And we can't be fooled into thinking that this crap is justice. This man should have went to jail a long time ago for this. He should have already have been indicted for this. Okay? This is, come on. He should have already been indicted for this. So the justice that is really deserved, they're subverting it still by, throwing out a patsy, fall guy. Okay? He will be the patsy. He will be the fall guy. And the real murderer will probably strike again and kill somebody else in that jail cell. Okay? That's what you're looking at. That's your law enforcement in America. That's justice in America. So when the people get upset and they start taking things in their own hands, hey, America asked for it. I'm not advocating it, but I'm saying if you don't provide the options for the recourse for people to be able to get true justice, eventually the people get tired and they say, fuck it, I'm going to get it myself. I don't have to sit here and keep begging people that aren't listening, begging people that are hell-bent at distorting the truth and the facts. This is what America is asking for, because America refuses to do her job and uphold the law of the land that she governs. So that's my take on the Sandra Bland situation. Brian Incinia, yeah, he'll probably end up doing a little bit of time behind bars, but this is nothing compared to what has happened to Sandra Bland. Her life, of course, lost, her family affected forever, and a nation just still in shock that our women in the United States and abroad are being killed. Private Lavina Johnson, another person that was murdered more than likely by military contractors, swept under the rug, about 10 years old now. Swept under the rug, still no answers. On the Army's watch, on the military's watch. Young private, beautiful, full of life, energy, love, amazing support. Father's a doctor. Great system, family support system. Raped, murdered, burned. And they say she committed suicide by shooting herself. That's what we're up against, guys. And Sandra Bland's case is more of the same. It's the same as Private Lavina Johnson's case. This is not going to provide justice. Only true justice is going to make this situation better. Not any kind of fake justice. Not anybody claiming. Okay? Claiming that this is real justice. Put it out there. I actually retweeted it. I'm actually going to retweet this one too. So this is something that we have to understand, guys. And I want everybody to go ahead and just keep an eye on that. And, just keep your eyes open for what's going on in this case. It seems that Paul Ryan's defunding of Planned Parenthood and repealing of Obamacare is a lot more important than what's going on down here in Texas right now, even though this doesn't just affect the black community. This affects all communities, guys. All communities. If we let police officers keep getting away with this, trust me, it's not going to matter in the next year or two what color the person is. That only matters right now. In the next year or two, it won't matter what color the person is. Not at all. You'll all be locked up. You'll all get shot. You'll all get hung in jail. Just keeping it real with you. That's what a police state is about. A police state isn't about a color. It's about protecting a class. Okay? So you can keep not paying attention to this if you want to. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to come back to bite you later. Okay? If you got children, if you got parents, more than likely within the next few years, they will be affected by police violence, whoever they are. White, black, Puerto Rican, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. That's my take on it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you also go to my Facebook, Who is Sincere, and like me on there to follow. Also, follow me on Anon Radio Live. We have some great shows that are going to be coming out soon. Just make sure you guys stay close. We have a lot of great things that are going on. Also, go in the section below. I'm going to leave a link there for my app. You can download my app so you can get all the updates on your phone. As soon as as soon as anything comes out, I'll be on top of it. So you guys go to the description section below this video. Make sure you download my app to stay up to date with everything. As always, guys, stay alert, stay alive.